England have started to get the results, but not the performances. Italy looked to be progressing pragmatically, rather nicely, but then got absolutely whacked by France. How do these two teams shape up ahead of their encounter at the Allianz Stadium this Sunday? Hello, amateurs. Welcome back to the channel. And our Six Nations series are going to be here with you throughout the tournament and beyond. So hit subscribe down below to make sure you don't miss out on any future episodes. Now, I've got... Nope, just me for this one. Well, I've got some more guests in for the reviews over the weekend, but this preview is just me, and I am looking at the teams. They've been selected for England and Italy, and we're going to get straight into the selections because there's a lot of interesting things in the selections this week for this game, which hasn't been the case. Oh, certainly not for the Ireland, Wales-Scotland game. Anyway, England forwards. Jamie George, 100 caps, wearing the number 2 jersey for it, running out, leading the team out. He's going to have that magnificent moment for him and his family and everybody that supported him through his amazing career. So delighted. He's earned it on merit as well. Incredible sort of intestinal fortitude to come back from losing the captaincy and just knuckling down and providing and getting injured as well. Let's not forget that. And just providing great performances off the bench, and he's clearly such a well-loved player that for him to get this opportunity, I'm delighted, absolutely delighted for him, the man, and I think it's the right choice for England, the rugby team as well. The rest of the forwards stay as is in what is a very balanced-looking pack. There's plenty of expertise in every area. So now we've got Chesham in there to sort out the line out. These are the best scrummaging props, but they also offer a decent amount around the pitch as well. And the back row's got a real nice balance of breakdown, carry, tackle, jackal, threat. Yeah, it's everywhere. I think this is a really nicely balanced England pack. The slightly more interesting things, though, happen in the back line, where two major changes. Fraser Dingwall comes in to replace Henry Slade, who's been dropped out of the 23 altogether. This Slade-Lawrence partnership had been slowly building, very slowly, I would say, and it certainly hasn't set the world alight, but every game it felt like they were just slowly getting a little bit more understanding and working together a little bit more. But what Borthwaite's done is rewarded good performances. So Dingwall played really well for England A the other week, and he gets another shot at it, essentially, and he gets a shot at it with lots of Northampton players around him and Ollie Lawrence outside. When he played in last year's Six Nations, he had Henry Slade alongside him in the centre berth. And for me, that didn't have enough oomph as a centre partnership. It didn't look balanced. This centre partnership looks balanced. So I think Dingwall's got every opportunity to get his best game on the pitch on Sunday in an England shirt. And I really hope he does for him, because I think he's a really beautiful rugby player. And I talk often about Brex being, I think, the best player in the world at taking the ball to the line and then making late decisions. Right up there is Fraser Dingwall as well. I mean, I'd love to see it in an England jersey. He does it all the time for Northampton. He's right up there in terms of that skill and that ability, and that just frees up other players around him because defenders get drawn in. They look at him, they have to plant because they don't know what he's going to do until the very last moment. So although I didn't pick this selection, I didn't see it coming, I can see the reasons why. However, I'm struggling to see the reasons around Elliot Daly. Certainly, it's taken me a good 36 hours, 2 days maybe, since this selection was announced. And I think I've kind of figured it out a little bit now. Certainly, Daly's played well off the bench. Certainly, Daly's a very capable, excellent 15. There's no doubt about that. And the fact that he's 32, in my mind, makes no difference whatsoever. I would say he has lost a little bit of pace. His top end pace is probably not quite what it was, but he's still absolutely quick enough. There's people I feel sorry for. Obviously, Marcus Smith getting put to fullback and now moved from the team into the number 23 jersey. It's tough on him, but this is international sport. The coach has got to pick the best team he thinks to get results for England. So it's tough on Marcus Smith, but it's also tough on Freddie Stewart, who now looks like he might be fourth choice fullback after doing so much to sort of revamp his game and bring extra strings to his bow that England were wanting in terms of his running game and his sort of link play as well. He's better at that than he's ever been, but he still can't get in this England side. So I feel for him. But I think what this might be a stage towards a little bit as well is Finn Smith being cemented as England's number 10, because with Marcus Smith not being in the starting team, that means Finn Smith's going to have the goal kicking responsibilities as well. And that's just the next step up. It's just the next level up for him to have that from the start in an international. So I think it's along those lines as well. And I think when George Furbank is fit and available, I think Borthwick sees him as the number one fullback. So if that's the case, then why not bring Daly in now, who's playing well? Put Marcus in the 23 jersey, where I do think, honestly, I think if everybody's fit and available, I think that's his long-term future in this England squad. And it just allows Finn Smith to have that opportunity to do the full role, the full job that he'll have to do if that is the way it's going to be going forwards. Very interesting, though. I would say, interestingly, I think it is quite good for England's attack to do it this way as well. Daly's more of a traditional 15, like he's got a lot of experience about hitting those wide lines and being a playmaker further out. So we might see a more fluid England attack here with both of these changes been made. Onto the bench, and Cowan Dickey, Baxter, Hayes, Ted Hill keeps the spot as the backup second row. They clearly have done a lot of work with him. They clearly trust him to do that job as a lock here for England. And then Jack Van Portfleet coming in for Harry Randall, which I think realistically it was always going to happen. Borthwick likes Van Portfleet. He's definitely one of his players, and he played well again for England Day, and now he's back fit. He also adds that point of difference in terms of his kicking game is superior probably to any of the other England nines that are currently in this squad. Plenty of depth on the bench there, plenty of oomph, plenty of carry. So, and opportunity really to change the game as well. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Marcus Smith. Where does he come on? At fullback or at fly half? And at what stage of the game? You know, it's a very interesting one. I do think, yeah, I said it before. I think that's his future, sadly for him, because obviously he'll want to be starting. But if that's the best way to get England wins, then I'm sure he'll be happy to be in the squad, even if it is as a replacement. Okay, on to the Italians, and there is some interesting selections here as well. Some changes. There's been a lot of consistency this Six Nations across all the squads in terms of selection, I'd say. But Italy have changed it up a bit this week. And it seems to me, where they can, they've just picked players that are playing in England or have played in England previously. So Riccioni comes straight into the starting tight head slot from nowhere, absolutely from nowhere. Obviously a quality player, but I think Genge will fancy that. I think Genge will want to go after him for sure. And then Vincent from Exeter Chiefs into the number 8 jersey, putting Lorenzo Canoni to the bench. I thought Canoni's had a really good tournament. So this is an interesting one. Pacey, obviously Vincent is his core skill, his point of difference is his pace and his running game. So maybe the Italians are going to go full bore. Maybe they are going to go back to their exciting running phase game that we've seen in previous years. And they tried against France with some success in the attack for sure. Who knows? But the English-based players, or one-time English-based players, continues in the backs where Stephen Varney comes in at 9, again, out of nowhere. He has not been involved in the squad so far this Six Nations, same as can be said for Matt Gallagher. Once a Bath, onto the left wing. And this is actually how I thought they were going to start the tournament. This is what I thought would be their sort of basic setup, with Capuozzo at fullback, who obviously with ball in hand has been electric at times, but they haven't got the ball to him a lot. And he's been I think he's been a bit of a liability defensively on the wing. I think he's much better defensively as a fullback. And then Gallagher and Ioane on the wings look a lot more solid. They look a lot more durable. They look like they've got plenty of tackles in them. And I think it just looks harder to break down compared to Capuozzo and JC on the wing from last week, where it looked like a strong gust of wind would blow them over, really. in the centres, obviously Menoncello and Brex are, everybody knows on this channel, my absolute favourites. They are incredible, and they will be looking to get through that Ollie Lawrence channel, I'm sure, because I would say that that's where England are probably the weakest defensively. It's not necessarily Lawrence himself. It's just England's movements around rucks and stuff like that. That's typically where the holes have opened up this championship. Onto the bench for the Italians, and we've got Lucchese back in there. Spagnolo carries on. Ferrari moves to the bench after starting every game, I think, so far. And yeah, Tommy Allen, Pazzarello, Lorenzo Canali, and Zuliani carrying on there as well. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if the English-based favoritism was a factor, because it seems like it was. That's 4 players that have come into the side that none of them have started, and 2 of them, I think, haven't even made a squad so far this Six Nations. I'm sure it must be a factor. I'd love to find out exactly why they think that's an important thing. Is it just familiarity with the English players? They feel like they've got an edge over them. They know them better, so they can, they know sort of some details that can take them out. It'd be very interesting to see. What type of game will we see? Now, honestly, I think a big factor in this could be whether France beat Ireland on Saturday, because if they do, then England's attack is going to have to function something special, because they need to get, first they need to win. Let's get things in order. They need to win. They need to get the bonus point. And then if they've got any hope of getting a championship, this Six Nations, which potentially they do, then they're going to need to score a lot of points. So it means that they can't wait to just sort of win the game first. They need to go and look for opportunities all the time. And I spoke about this in the selection prediction video, but it doesn't mean throwing the ball around. It doesn't mean playing 7 stars. It doesn't mean being reckless. It just means that in every moment of the game, just have your eyes open. Just see where there's opportunities, because there often are in games. And if the Italians defend like they did against the French last week, when they made so many errors, just in positioning, just in folding, they got too many numbers on one side of the ruck and not enough on the other. And the French were lethal in exploiting that. That's what England have got to be looking for the entire time. Because even if it comes 10 metres from your line, like if you can get there and get through that hole and support well, then you're gone. You're absolutely gone. But if you are just looking to set up a box kick, no intention to do anything else whatsoever, which was definitely the case against the Scots 2 weeks ago, there's no question. The players have sort of come out and said that themselves pretty much. Then those opportunities will be gone. And I would like to see England just being more flexible, being more open to attacking. That's what it's really about, open to attacking intent. If there's opportunities there, I want them to go and try and exploit them. Don't be scared of the breakdown turnovers. That they really seem like they are. I think it was Jamie Ritchie got that first one against the Scots, and then it felt like England just didn't want to go through any phases at all, because they just thought they were going to get turned over all the time. I want them to be braver than that. With this Italian side, I think they really have to go and be what we've seen in the earlier games in this tournament. I think they have to be quite pragmatic early doors against England. I think they have to frustrate England, make it a niggly, bitty, disrupted kind of game, because I think they need to try and get the Twickenham crowd to turn on the English. And there are factions in that crowd that will do, and they'll do it early as well if they don't think England are performing at the levels or with the right style maybe as well. And it happens every game. It happened against the Scots. That's what Italy, I think, that's what they need to go after first and foremost. And then they've got the ability to play and score a lot of points, plenty of tries later in the game if they're still in it. But I think they really need to go after that first. Okay, prediction time. Who do I think is going to win? Well, yeah, I do think England are going to win. I'd like to see them get a proper performance out as well. I think their attitude will, honestly, I mean, all the players have been talking this week about attack, about getting their attack on the pitch, about how disappointed they were about not being able to do that against Scotland. So it's definitely their focus. There's no question. And I think with the changes in the back line, I think having Dingwall in there with the combinations around him as well, all those Northampton players together, I think that's key. I think that's a factor that will play into England's hands in terms of fluidity. I think we might see a really open, good game here. And I think England focusing so much on attack might mean that the Italians get some joy in their attack as well. I think we could see a belter. I think it could be like 48-22 or something like that. I think both teams are going to score plenty of points. I'd love it if the Italians got a 4-point bonus try, 4-try bonus point, excuse me, as well. Yeah, that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And down there in the description is a link to the England Rugby store, and they've got massive discounts on at the moment. So if you're ever thinking about buying any England Rugby stash whatsoever, today's the day to do it. And there's a code there for an extra 10% off as well. So go and get your England Rugby stash via the link in the description. Okay, let's have your thoughts in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up while you're down there. If you don't mind, perhaps other great rugby fans like exactly like you find it. And also don't forget about the after party, which is live on YouTube and Facebook, where we go directly at the final whistle, go live, talk about the game. We'll get all your comments on screen as well. So make sure you look out for that. The event's already up on YouTube, so go and mark that and come along and enjoy the fun. Alrighty, that's all. That's everything. Don't forget, you can subscribe there. You can watch that one next. And don't forget, get out and play.